Hey guys, welcome back again to this channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Cindy. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. Just also have a look at this video I obviously saw on TikTok. This Asian lady right here did a video crying, as you can see. So she says that she was sold, like she was purchased. I'm gonna let this video roll. I tried to trace the original video, but unfortunately I couldn't find the original video. But from this video right here, we are going to get the full context. And of course, people staged the video. Please check it out.
I can't believe I was trafficked to this horrible country. I can't believe I was trafficked to this horrible country. I am not an American. I am not an American.
She was in a Chinese orphanage and got adopted. Not trafficked, adopted.
It is not a metaphor. I was purchased when I was a toddler. I was trafficked into the United States. I was purchased by white people. I was sold from an orphanage.
I mean, she can call it whatever she wants, but that was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to her. Because she gets to be in America, on her phone, whining on TikTok about how bad she hates America, instead of what most likely would have happened to her if she stayed over there. Truth is, she wasn't going to get adopted by anybody in China. Less than 0.1% of Chinese orphans get adopted domestically. So she would have just stayed institutionalized, then turned 14 and aged out, meaning she's ineligible to be adopted anymore. And this is what happens to kids in China who age out. The best case scenario, they get to stay in the orphanage, finish school, and get a minimum wage service job. The opportunity for higher education, a better job, or starting a family are virtually unattainable for these kids. Now, worst case scenario, you get to be released out onto the streets alone with no resources at the ripe age of 14 years old. And then when you're out on the streets alone with no resources or money, you'll be forced to find a way to make some money. You'll be forced to put yourself in shady, undesirable situations like selling your body, which happens to a lot of homeless women, and then you'll really be trafficked. So yeah, America has its problems. Nobody's saying we're perfect. But thank God a white American family decided to purchase this young lady and bring her to America. Because if that didn't happen, odds are she'd be living in a situation 100 times worse.
I want y'all to know that the majority of adoptees are essayed. The majority of adoptees are abused for their bodies. The majority of adoptees are tormented for the fact that they are not related to the people who have taken them into their home and are subject to whatever whims that those people have for them. Adoption is not a good system. Kinship ties are more important. Ethnic and cultural ties are more important than white people's family building.
So I tried to find out the original video. I could not find it, but I managed to trace her account. But unfortunately, I couldn't find this video. So obviously, she took the video down. And then I checked the comment section of the video that we just watched. And people were like, okay, now that you are grown, why don't you go back to your country? Like some people were literally asking her to go back to her country. Some people said, oh, it is better off that someone adopted you, brought you over to America. That basically she should, live her life rather than crying on TikTok. Like this is what people are saying. And then some people are saying that her feelings are valid. Now, I saw this video. I decided to bring this video here for educational purposes, just to give us some kind of insight what is happening. Now, some people staged this video, which I have put them together. Let's just hear what they are saying. And of course, I'm going to show you some screenshots of comments I grabbed from the comment section of the video. Please check the cities out.
I can't believe I was trafficked to this horrible country. I can't believe I was.
Hi, as an international adoptee, I wanted to address this video. I've been thinking about this for a few days. She was absolutely valid in her feelings as an international adoptee. And as an adoptee myself, it is absolutely frustrating, disheartening to hear the continuous invalidating of an adult adoptee experience, as well as silencing the voices of adoptees. She literally was purchased, brought to another country, lost her culture, her heritage, and her language, and nobody seemed to grasp the impact that that can have on a child. And it breaks my heart that people were so invalidating of her.
That girl who's adopted from China coming to TikTok and being like, I can't believe I was trafficked into this horrible country. Clearly having a mental breakdown on camera. The stitches are making me sick. Not only does it show that people just don't know the complicated history of international adoption, but I think it also points out how people can be so insensitive despite not knowing what they're talking about. Like, you're going to look an adoptee in the eyes and say you should be grateful for your circumstances and the cards that you've been dealt in life. Are you serious? I'm adopted from Thailand, and in Thailand I was raised by a single mother. We were living on the streets, homeless, stealing food from freaking Buddhist temples just so we could survive, and bathing in rivers. And then she got cancer and passed away, and I was placed in an orphanage and then up for adoption after many rounds of foster care. And when I was adopted and came to the US, so many people in the community, church, school came up to me and said, oh my gosh, what a beautiful story of resilience. I'm so glad you were saved. And while I am, yes, so grateful that I was brought into an environment that allowed me to thrive and become a well-rounded adult like I am today, I also recognize that that's not always the circumstances for a lot of adopted people. And children of adoption carry so much grief and loss and trauma in their life, and our society does not normalize working through those traumas. So this just gets carried on into their adult life, where it gets externalized online or to their neighbors or to their relationships that they have in their life, and they get shut down, they get dismissed, or they are like badgered for it. And I guess my whole point is, even though it makes us uncomfortable to see her video like that, I think we just, as a community, need to be more empathetic. And it's okay to not know everything about everything, but our initial reaction to seeing something that we don't understand or that makes us uncomfortable cannot be to invalidate and assume and bully just because we don't have the context. Just ask questions.
She was in a Chinese orphanage and got adopted.
You then go on to say, not trafficked, she was adopted. Everywhere else in the world views adoption in the United States as legalized human trafficking because of how it is done here. Adoptions done internationally from countries like China, Korea, and Haiti with orphanages have been discovered to have not always been honest about where the children came from. A very large portion of those children were discovered to have been legit stolen from their biological families and then trafficked via international adoption. All of that being said, I would like to get into the societal view of the adoptee and how you are perpetuating harmful stigmas and stereotypes about adoptees and adoption. Adoption is seen as a trade-up in the world. The hope is that the child will have a better life and better opportunities. This trade-up is attached to a fairy tale that may require gratitude from the child. Adoptees are consistently reminded about how lucky they are to be in a good family. For many adoptees, the gratitude becomes destructive, as there may be no room for the acknowledgement of ongoing loss and grief. Gratitude may impede grieving, anger, questioning, wondering, and searching, as there is a debt to be paid for this step up in society. Adoptees frequently hear that they were a gift given to their family. This relegates a human as being an object to transfer. This is how adoption can become more about the meeting of the needs of adults and only secondarily about meeting the needs of the child. The language society uses to frame the adoption and permanency experience, such as chosen, gift, step up, lucky, trade up, good adoptee, saved, rescued, and born from my heart, can be experienced by the adoptee as a diminishment of the traumatic events that occurred in their life. You also fell into the reject, shame, and guilt response when an adoptee does not have something that is rose-colored to say about being adopted. She's rejected because she's not a good adoptee, but a bad adoptee. And then shaming and guilting her because she's not grateful for being adopted, which seems to be society's favorite thing to do to us. That content creator has some very strong feelings about being adopted internationally to US citizens and being in the United States. And her feelings are absolutely valid. You didn't live her life. And that content creator in particular made content about being SA'd in their adoptive home. It'd be great if non-adoptees would stop telling adoptees how to think and feel about our own life.
I am not in America.
She was
Cruel. Just downright cruel.
I am not in America.
She was in a Chinese orphanage and got adopted.
With all due respect, unless you have been adopted, I don't know if you have the scope to comment on this. I am adopted, and I don't care how positive the situation is, it's traumatic. And obviously that young woman has been traumatized, and you do not have the standing or the history of what she has gone through to make any kind of fucking comment. How dare you? How dare you belittle her? Because frankly, it sounds like a little bit of white savior complex. That's a lot like what I hear white people saying about adopting black children, Asian children, whatever children, saying we saved them from the life they would have had because we're so special. And that's frankly uneducated and cruel. Just downright cruel.
I took some screenshots of comments, like I said, from the comment section of that video. Now on your screen are some of these comments. Please pause to read if you want to. I don't know. Let me know your take in the comments. What do you have to say about this? Looking at her, you could tell that she is traumatized, and I can't say because like I'm not in her shoes, but I can only imagine, what she's passing through, the trauma and everything. And I keep saying it, that what's the point adopting a child and then at the end of the day you are not taking care of that child? In my own opinion, I think it is best for you to adopt a child that you know that you can take care of. Especially when we talk about white people adopting a black child, and then you see the child most times, on the street, on the bus, you could see that their hair are always unkept because they don't know how to handle a black child's hair. Then if you cannot, then pay someone to do it. I don't know. But anyways, let me know your take in the comments. Again, people are asking her to live her normal life, do stuff instead of crying on TikTok, create content. Just be happy and live your life. But I know it is not that easy. Okay, like I can't really say because, like I said, I am not in her shoes. But yeah, I just want to know your take in the comments. Let me know what you guys think, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and of course, come back for another video. I'm gonna see you all in my next one. Yeah, take care. Bye.